Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go over what I do to prepare for this bird unit study, where I'm going to go over different lesson plans that I have, book recommendation, projects, ideas, activities that are going to help my children further understand bird study. So stay tuned. I have some good stuff coming your way. Okay, first with the main lesson, I like to start with our animal classification binder. This specifically, as you can see, is the binder for birds. So every bird that we study, it goes inside this binder. And in this binder, I have a quick, very simple information on what a bird is. In this lesson, in this unit study, we're going to focus on just very quickly talking about bird migration. We're going to talk about the type of birds' beaks and how birds fly. And we're just going to quickly go over the anatomy of an egg, just quickly, just so they can have an idea, and different kinds of bird eggs. In this unit, we are focusing specifically on the robin. We've done different birds in the past, but this time around, we're going to be focusing on the robin. Every time we'll go over an animal, I like to make sure that we have the anatomy of that specific animal, and then we also have the life cycle of that animal. So that's what I have here. And again, basic information of every stage in the bird's life cycle. And then this right here, I got this lesson from Etsy. I've done my own in the past, but sometimes when I do not have time, I just go and look for a lesson that I can either grab for free or that I can just purchase at a reasonable price. And then just here I have every North American bird, because we're focusing specifically on the North American birds, and their eggs, what their eggs look like. And that's all I have here in their animal classification binder. In addition, we will be going over the different types of North American birds that are around our yard. So I created this pamphlet that will be right in front of the window so that they can be able to identify the birds that they see.
Can we go outside? And make something. The blue jay.
This right here, this area is our science area. So this is what it looks like right in front of our window. And then this table right here. Right now, we're just talking about seeds and planting. So that's why I have a seed set up, again, with pictures and tree identification, leaf identification, herbs identification. So that's what we're doing right now. But now this week coming up, we're moving on to a bird unit study. So I want you to see my setup really quickly. I'm going to put this down here. Here are all the animal classifications binders right here. This right here is all my seasons binder. For every season, I have a folder for every animal classification. I have a binder right here. Right next to the binder, I have toys right here. With a few North American birds, so that they can also play with. Because spring is coming up, I also have bugs that are out, that they are that they can be able to just explore furthermore. And some of these, they like to explore some of these bugs. But to further help with the bird lesson, I also have eggs that they can play with. And then this can be used as counters, or they can play with them however they want to play with them, but everything just ties in together with the unit study. Right here in this shelf, I have the life cycle of an egg. I'm gonna show it very quickly. The life cycle of an egg right here. I decided to add this common bird backyard picture right in front of our window as decoration.
These are not my babies. And cars. You gotta stop and go.
Here's one of my favorite resources, Nature Anatomy by Julia Rothman. This book has beautiful pictures, and it focuses on different subjects in nature. And because we are focusing on birds, she has great beautiful pictures about the anatomy of a bird, and also have different pictures of different kinds of birds, North American birds that we can find. I like to use this as an idea, not only for information, but also for nature journaling. For more books, I always suggest to use your local library to find information for free. I also suggest that you use YouTube. Find a list of books, and I'm going to provide a list of books right here that you can use for birds so they can learn through story time.
They're going to fly together.
Yeah, you see what they're doing in the sky? It's like they're playing. Find documentaries that you can use to provide your children with more information. We cannot forget that one of the best and fun ways that children can learn is through play. Provide toys they can use to play and learn at the same time. It's the easiest way for children to be entertained and engaged with the things that they are learning. Let's move on to projects and activities. I decided to do a bird feeder right in front of our window, and I had the children, as an activity, just put on the seeds into the bird feeder. It's a great way for sensory activity, and I had them help me put up the feeder right in front. And as you can see, they are excited to put this and even to see the birds. Have your children help every step of the way. This is one of my favorite, learning through art. We do have, every Friday, we have music and art. So for art, we decided, okay, let's learn how to draw the different words that we see. And as you can see here, my children are drawing both on their art journal and on their nature journal, different birds that they've seen so far.
You need a nest.
Yeah, we're doing something different with Montessori Wonder, and I partner with my sister and we're gonna be doing videos together. Same base, just different structures, different ideas. So I want her to take it away and show you guys what she's doing at her house for her bird unit study.
Hey mamas, it's Jennifer with Montessori Wonder. Today I'm going to show you how we're getting ready for our new spring unit lesson. Let's get into it. So here it is. The first step I did was create a unit lesson for what we're focusing on, which is bees and birds. So I did a very quick search on the internet on basic information about the birds that we'll be touching base on. Although he's gonna see plenty of birds, we're focusing on about 4 of them, just so that it's a little bit more narrowed down for a preschooler's age. So again, this is some of the things I did. I worked really hard. I love to do a lot of images, so then it just captures my children's attention. Again, they are young, so you don't want to compact your lesson with too much. I love to always add a diagram about whatever is it that they're learning. It's just always good for them to be able to pinpoint some of those, in this case, body parts, since we're learning about birds. And then some feathers to just make it fun. So yes, the unit lesson should always be simple, of course, according to the level of your children's understanding. My son is 3, although he can grasp a lot, I do notice that his attention can go off so quick. So I always try to make our lesson very compacted and very simple. And as they grow older, you can continue to add more on that. So you best believe that next year, when he gets a little older, I will be using this same unit lesson, and I'm just going to add a little bit more depth on whatever unit or whatever new information I'm adding to. Another thing that I wanted to mention are books. I love to take my children to the library. I use this as a form of prepping for the new lesson that we're jumping into, and 2, I use it as a form of a field trip. So I highly recommend that you take your children to the library and use the resources that you have that are for free a lot of times. Now I have a membership because the library I go to, it's a little bit outside of my state, although it's still very close. But they just offer so much that I'm willing to pay the fee, which is a year, and they offer so much, and you can grab books and use them in the classroom. And my children love going to the book, selecting a book on their own. And I love to read, so I love going to the library and selecting a lot of books related to the lesson, and they just love the whole experience. Our library just offers so much. They have a Lego room, they have a lot. They have a sensor room, they have a theater room, they have a lot to offer. They even do bedtime story. You just got to get in touch with your local library to see what they offer for the children, and see, what can you get from it? What kind of resources are you able to extract from the library? So I highly recommend that you use the library as a resource, as a stay-at-home teacher, or a homeschooling, more like for homeschooling, because it comes in so handy. Sometimes we don't have to be able to buy all the books we want, and being able to go to the library and check them out for a good 2 weeks, it always comes in handy. So please do not forget to use the library and take your children to the library, as they will love it too. Another form of activity, although I do have a catalog that I just pretty much printed out, I always like to do a little bit of art for myself. I find it fun, and I know it's fun for them too. I made this journal for the children to look into. Now I stitched it with burlap. Is that burlap? I don't think it's called that. Just rope. And now I color this myself, and I actually drew it. I took my time to do it. It's not perfect. I wasn't supposed to be professional, so I tried. So here it's a cardinal, some background information on it. I know they'll love it. I love to color it. I have so much fun doing it, and I know that they're gonna love also kind of just going through it. And these are the birds that they will be focusing on. Again, we're focusing on birds that we've been exposed to very often. They see these birds every day. So these are the ones I made. I think I did okay. I didn't want to invest an hour on each bird so they don't look, like over the top. But I know the kids are not going to be like, oh mom, it doesn't look over the top. I think that they'll enjoy it either way. Very simple, and I know that they will love it. So if you're creative, and even if you're not, give it a try. Next is the activities that I'm doing with my children. Now, yeah, lesson is always good, but honestly, all levels, even up to college, I would say, doing activities, doing hands-on activity with the children or with adults are very helpful, because some people learn differently. Some people are more lectures, some other people are more visual or hands-on. So we are doing this activity where they get to look at the birds that I have here, and they get to now pinpoint them by their color and their feathers. I still have to cut it out, but they get to add it here. Now these have the bird's name, and yes, it is too advanced for my children, but that's the one thing about being at home and teaching yourself, is that you can always tweak whatever information you get. I was able to get this from Etsy, and of course, like I said, it is advanced for my children, but I'm going to tweak it in a way where my children can still use it, and eventually, as they get older, as they fully learn to read a blue jay, they are able to still use it. So that is one thing about being a teacher or teaching at home, is that we can always tweak the information we're getting and eventually create it into more depths of study for the level of understanding of your children. Your children will always let you know where they are, what stage they're in, and it's really up to us to be able to grasp what they're telling us and then move on as for how far we go into our lesson. Another form of activity that we're doing here is this bird catalog that I made. Every season they have a folder. This is spring. I don't know if you can see it, but it's spring, and so they have all these backyard birds that they're just be around. They just be around a house, and they actually started using this. I haven't fully started the lesson just yet. I'm gonna wait till the very beginning of spring, but so far they love it. My son runs to the playroom and grabs the folder when he sees a bird. He said, mommy, look at the bird. He grabs the folder and pinpoints it, and that is just a great sign. And it's a great sign because they enjoy the things that you're giving them. You give them more room for imagination, more room to learn, more room to expand their vocabulary, because of course they'll see the image, you tell them what the name of the bird is. So now my son knows what a robin is, what a blue jay is, and these are the birds that we're probably going to concentrate because they do see them more often than every other bird. But the exposure really helps the children learn and kind of captivate that information that you're giving them. So I would highly recommend that if you're doing any kind of unit lesson, do a catalog for the children. Do a catalog because it helps and they love the activity. Well, you guys, that is it for today. I hope that it was useful. I hope that you guys can grab some of these tools that we are doing at home and do them at your house with your children. Thank you guys for tuning in, and don't forget to visit our TikTok shop or our TikTok page and our YouTube videos for more videos like this. Thank you. Bye.